everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about the Maya. When you hear that name, what comes to mind? For a lot of people, it's the year 2012 and the so-called end of the world prophecy. It was everywhere. News, movies, you name it. But what if I told you that whole narrative was a massive misunderstanding? What if the real story of Mayan astronomy is far more fascinating, complex, and frankly, more impressive than any doomsday prediction? Today, we're diving deep into the cosmos of the ancient Maya, separating fact from sensational fiction. We're going to expose what Mayan astronomy was really all about and answer the big question. Did they actually predict the future? Stick around, because the truth is written in the stars. So, let's get this out of the way. First, the Maya never predicted the world would end in 2012. Not even close. What happened on December 21st, 2012 was simply the end of a major cycle in their long count calendar. Think of it like your car's odometer hitting all nines and then rolling over to all zeros. It's not the end of the car. It's just the start of a new count. For the Maya, this was a moment of transformation and renewal, not apocalypse. The idea of a cataclysm was a modern invention, a pop culture myth that unfortunately overshadowed their true genius. So, with that myth busted, let's explore what they were actually doing, which is mind-blowingly brilliant. Imagine this. No telescopes, no computers, just your own eyes, brilliant minds, and generations of meticulous observation. From jungle clearings and the tops of towering pyramids, Mayan astronomers tracked the heavens with incredible precision. They weren't just casually stargazing. They were scientists, mathematicians, and priests, all rolled into one. The sun, the moon, and the planets were not just celestial bodies. They were gods, powerful forces whose movements held deep meaning for life on Earth. Their cycles dictated everything from when to plant maize, the lifeblood of their civilization, to when to go to war or crown a new king. Astronomy wasn't a hobby for them. It was the fundamental operating system for their entire society. How did they do it? With math and lots of it. The Maya developed a sophisticated vigesimal or based 20 number system. You and I count in Based-in, probably because we have 10 fingers. The Maya counted in base 20, possibly using both fingers and toes. Crucially, they independently invented the concept of zero, a groundbreaking mathematical leap that allowed for complex calculations. This number system was the engine that powered their calendars. And they didn't just have one calendar. They had several, all interwoven like a celestial gearbox. The most famous are the 260-day Tzolk'in and the 365-day Hab. These two calendars cinched up every 52 years, creating a cycle known as the calendar round. This 52-year period was hugely significant, a bit like a century is for us today. But for tracking vast stretches of time, they used the long count, the very calendar that caused all the 2012 fuss. This is where their precision truly shines. Mayan astronomers calculated the length of the solar year to be 365.242 days. Modern science, with all our atomic clocks and technology, has it at 365.24219 days. That's an astonishingly small margin of error, achieved over 1,000 years ago. They were just as accurate with the planets. They calculated the synodic period of Venus at a time it takes for Venus to reappear in the same spot in the sky at 584 days. The actual value is 583.92 days. They tracked Venus so closely that they had dedicated almanacs, like the famous Dresden Codex, which essentially served as an ephemeris, a celestial schedule, to predict Venus's appearances as the morning and evening star. Why this obsession with Venus? For the Maya, Venus was a big deal, often associated with their god Kukulkan, and its movements were linked to war and conflict. Being able to predict its position gave rulers a powerful tool. Imagine a king declaring, in 10 days, the war god will appear in the morning sky, and on that day, we will march to victory. This ability to predict celestial events wasn't about seeing a random future. It was about aligning human activities with the perceived will of the cosmos. It was a source of immense power and authority. They weren't predicting random events. They were scheduling them. They were forecasting astronomical phenomena with such accuracy that they could plan major societal events around them. This is the real prediction of the Maya. Let's look at the physical evidence. Cities like Chichen Itza are living testaments to this cosmic knowledge. The Great Pyramid, El Castillo, is a massive, stone-carved calendar. It has 365 steps, one for each day of the solar year. And during the spring and autumn equinoxes, a truly magical event happens. As the sun sets, the shadows cast by the pyramid's corners create the illusion of a massive serpent slithering down the northern staircase, connecting a stone serpent head at the bottom. This isn't an accident. It's an incredible feat of architectural and astronomical engineering designed to mark these important dates in the agricultural cycle. Similarly, the observatory building El has windows that are perfectly aligned to track the movements of Venus, the sun, and the moon. These buildings are giant scientific instruments built into the very fabric of their cities. So, let's return to our original question. Did the Maya predict the future? The answer is both no and yes, but not in the way you might think. No, they didn't write prophecies about the internet or the 2012 Olympics. They weren't fortune tellers pulling random visions out of thin air. But in a more profound scientific sense, yes, they did. They predicted the future of the sky. They predicted eclipses, the phases of the moon, the rising and setting of planets, and the precise turn of the seasons. These weren't mystical prophecies. They were forecasts based on centuries of data and brilliant mathematical calculations. This ability gave them a sense of control and order in a world that could often seem chaotic. It allowed them to create a stable, organized, and deeply spiritual society that thrived for centuries. The legacy of the Maya is not a failed doomsday prophecy. It's a story of incredible intellectual achievement. It's a testament to what humanity can accomplish through patient observation, rigorous logic, and a deep-seated curiosity about our place in the universe. They were true pioneers of science, whose understanding of the cosmos was centuries ahead of their time. The next time you look up at the stars, remember the Mayan astronomers who, with nothing but their naked eyes and brilliant minds, mapped the heavens and brought the universe down to Earth. Their real story is infinitely more inspiring than any fiction. Thanks so much for joining me on this journey through Mayan cosmology. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more deep dives into history and science. Let me know in the comments what other historical myths you'd like to see us tackle. Until next time, stay curious.